So this is Holy Spirit speaking. Peace is everything. I've told you before that trust is everything, but peace is everything too. The two go together and are inseparable, so that one cannot be everything without the other being everything too. Let me redefine peace for you. Peace, within the experience of the illusion, with the experience of an ego mind, is trust over doubting, acceptance over judgment, and rest over pain. It is choosing to rest or relax instead of choosing resistance, which is pain. Peace is necessary for healing. Without peace, you are caught up in the code of illusion and fearing the code is true. This is the opposite of peace. Fearing the code is pain. Peace is the path to the peace of God. Peaceful acceptance and trust is the way to awaken to that which you are. Peaceful acceptance is awakening. Denial and resistance are the choice for pain. You asked if resistance is necessary on the spiritual path of awakening. The answer, of course, is no. You choose all of your experiences, including the experience of resistance. And you experience it exactly to the degree that you wish. You may ask why you would choose the pain of resistance when you could experience peace. The answer is simple, and one I am sure you have not overlooked. You choose resistance because you choose not to know fully that which you are. Resistance serves your choice to know yourself not as you are. Your next question is how to let go of resistance, since you wish to be happy and free of pain. The answer is once again simple. Choose happiness through, will for, and peace. Choose happiness through, will for, and peace. And I will come back and explain that for those who don't understand the language of these messages. Oh, maybe Spirit's going to explain it now. When I say choose happiness through will for, I am directing you to the choices you are to make from the code. You are to choose the choices that make you happy. Follow your own happiness, and you never choose wrong. Peace is acceptance of all things, including the choice to choose what you do not want. When a choice has been made that did not make you happy, be at peace with your choice. Accept what you have done. Do not resist the decision or its effects. Through taking responsibility, you become more responsible. And this will lead to more free choosing of that which you want. Do not ask for any change to occur too quickly. Be willing to take your time. The slow way is the fast way, because the slow way is the way of trust. Trust sees no need to hurry. Now this is wonderful guidance. And it's guidance that we can use over and over and over again. I'm just going to tell you a little story. Recently I've been receiving new guidance over the last week, which I'm not going to go into now. That isn't important to this discussion. But sometimes when we receive new guidance, that seems to be followed by, what some people might call ego retaliation. I believe Spirit would probably call it resistance. But it feels like ego retaliation. Sometimes when there's a new realization, when we ascend the stairway to heaven by another step, the ego comes back. And so I've been experiencing some of that as well. And in fact, last night was the first night in I don't know how long that I had trouble sleeping because of an active ego mind. And I had a little bit of a headache. And it seems like at times it even felt like a little bit of an upset stomach. I think I remember that. And the ego just, wouldn't be quiet. And the emotions in the body were stress, I guess. Stress. Wishing, there was a wishing it was different. That was there. Now for me, these used to be, normal feelings. Now they are not. They're not normal. So it felt like kind of being thrown back into the past. And what was very interesting is while I was in this state of mind, I had to work very hard at remembering Spirit's guidance on what to do in this state of mind. I had to work very hard at remembering to rest the mind and not listen to the stories of the mind. Remembering to trust. Remembering this will pass. It was kind of funny because it really was like a reminder of just how difficult it can be. You could say to a point I had forgotten. I've been a bit spoiled lately. A part of me is grateful now that I had this reminder last night because I think it will work well with the teaching of this message, because this message is really talking to people who have the experience of the state of mind that I experienced last night. So it was a nice reminder. But something else happened last night too, which I'm going to go ahead and tell you about quickly, and then we'll get back into the message. Something else happened last night which was not at all insignificant, at least not for me. At first, as I mentioned, I could not sleep because the mind was so loud. But I did work very hard at remembering simple things like rest, accept, and trust, but it was very hard. So I worked very hard at remembering those simple things, and I practiced them to the very best of my ability under the circumstances. And what happened at some point is I drifted off to sleep. I don't know how long I slept because I wasn't watching the clock. I don't know if I slept 5 minutes or an hour before I popped awake again, but I did drift off to sleep. And when I popped awake again, the pain immediately set back in. The thoughts immediately set back in. The headache I noticed, the upset stomach I noticed. And I went right back to the practice. And somehow I drift off to sleep again. And then at some point I popped awake again and was right back in that same state of mind. And this happened quite a few times. But what I came to notice, which isn't something I didn't already know at one level, but I would say, it's one of those situations where it came deeper. What I came to notice is that every time I was asleep, I was perfectly happy. I came to see this. It's almost as if I was aware of both when I was asleep and aware of when I was, quote, awake. Right? I could experience the contrast because I was going to sleep and waking up so much that I was able to experience the contrast. Yeah, Laurent knows where I'm going. Look at his excellent with 3 exclamation points. I was able to notice that whenever I was asleep, I was perfectly at peace. The problems my mind were speaking about, the stories my mind were telling me, the headache, the upset stomach, the stress, none of it was there. But when I would wake up, it would start again. And yeah, Laurent is right. What it really, again, solidified for me, something I knew already, but again, we keep learning these things at deeper and deeper and more meaningful lessons. Something that really solidified for me is without the thinking mind, I, without the person, I, there was no pain. There was absolutely no pain. In fact, it was absolute peace and bliss while I slept. And again, somehow there was consciousness while I slept for this experience. So I was aware of the peace and the bliss. And then when I would wake up again and the thoughts would start again, there was pain. And this really actually, in the end, helped me to let go of that pain completely, because it emphasized for me the meaninglessness of the stories. That's what it did. It emphasized for me the meaninglessness of the stories, and I was able to get past it completely.